been in a long distance relationship, and has it been successful? Welcome, welcome, world. This is the Seymone and Tasha show. I'm Seymone.
And I'm Tasha.
And today, Tasha, what are we going to be talking about today?
Long distance relationships.
Ooh, long distance relationships. Spicy. Or are they? Or are they? Tasha, you ever been in a long distance relationship?
Yes, I have.
And how did that work out? How did that go?
The relationship was okay, but it came to a point where one person didn't want to move. The other person wasn't interested in moving, so it was a no-go.
Oh, so it was a point where a decision had to be made, who's moving,
Yeah.
and a person. But what are some of the benefits of a long distance relationship? Because I think I've been in a long distance relationship. And I think one of the benefits is that in a way, you kind of still have your freedom. Like you can still do your thing without having to worry about, having to meet somebody somewhere at a certain time. It's like your life is still kind of like open, even though there's someone that you're talking to or even in love with somewhere else.
We were talking to a lady and she was expressing that she likes a long distance relationship because she still gets to have like her me time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess that's a valid point.
Yeah, because some people really in relationships, some people want more space than other people.
Right.
So I think for the people who want more space, a long distance relationship could be the ideal thing.
Yeah, it could. It definitely could. But is it going to be a time where, a decision has to be made?
Yeah.
Who's moving? Are we moving together?
Yeah,
does one person leave and come to where they are, or vice versa?
You're right, because even if you're in a long distance relationship, it's not like you want that to be the end game, is it? Is that the final? Y'all just long distance forever?
And that's maybe a question that they have to ask themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, long distance forever. Like, I don't know if that works for anybody in the long run. I mean, you might be in a long distance relationship, but usually from the couples that I've spoken to, they might have met online, they start talking, then after they fall in love, then there's a plan in place like, okay, we're going to be in the same place.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, that makes sense.
Like the couple that we talked to earlier.
Right.
They were saying that they were in a long distance relationship, but at a certain point, they said, no, we have to be in the same place.
Right. Exactly.
And the decision was to meet halfway. We're not going to move to where you live. I'm not going to move to where you live. Let's just move to a whole new place together, a whole new city.
And sometimes what happens too, it could be like when you're living in two separate spaces, depending on who's moving and how you guys are maneuvering that, they have to find jobs. You know what I mean? So sometimes that can dictate where they might, end up as well as far as a couple like together, but it may not be like either or. Like if this person in this state, maybe the other person can't find a job in that state. So then they make a decision as a couple, well, let's, live here in this spot together.
Yeah. Yep. And at the same time, like in a long distance relationship, what are some of the issues that you think could come up? Like I'm thinking right off the top of my head, I'm thinking like trust, or you have to be the type of person that really trusts.
Absolutely. I mean, trust is a big thing in any relationship, whether it's local or, long distance. So, I mean, if you guys don't have that, then what we doing? You know what I mean? Like that's like a foundation of any relationship. So if you guys, decide you're going to be a couple and for whatever reason, the trust is not there, then the long distance relationship don't need to be there either.
But that's the thing. But then that's the thing, like, okay, you don't trust them to be in a different state.
But why are you with them then? I mean, to me, if you already have a trusting on your plate and you just met this person and you can't even trust them to live in another state, like why would you even seek out a person in a different state?
And in a different country even.
Right. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. I would seek out a person if...
But I'm thinking, Tasha, like, if you're in a relationship and you don't trust a person who is long distance from you, would you trust them when they're in the same place as you? Isn't it the same thing? Why wouldn't you trust them if they're at a distance?
But I mean, and that goes back to let's just back up. So why don't you trust them?
That's the
Because
thing.
if you don't trust them, then that means you don't trust them.
Period.
Period.
Yeah.
So why are we in a relationship with them?
Right.
Like why do we even move in the direction of like getting serious
Right.
if you don't even trust that individual? So
it's like if you don't think that you can trust somebody in a long distance relationship, then what that's telling me is that you have some trust issues that you still have to work on. Period.
right.
Period. For having a relationship before you move forward, you got to work on the trust issues.
Right. Unless it's one of them things where the person did something, then that's a whole other conversation. If the person did something that you felt like was not trustworthy, that's a whole nother conversation. And, you know, maybe we don't need to move forward with this long distance relationship. You know what I mean?
But then if they did something, then you wouldn't trust them whether they were long distance, short distance, next door, in the same house. You wouldn't trust them either way if they did something. So,
right. So we're back at square one. Yeah.
so really, if you meet somebody long distance, then I'm thinking you might as well pursue it, because if you're going to trust, you're going to trust. If you're a
Absolutely.
trusting person, you're going to trust them until they give you a reason not to trust them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I see one of the cons of a long distance relationship would be that you won't be able to be with that person and have that intimacy that you might require from a relationship. You're not going to have that if the person is long distance. And for
This
some
is
people,
true.
That's a big deal.
Right. This is true, but you knew that in the beginning. I will say that if you decide to pursue a long distance relationship, you already know what that is. I mean, that's self-explanatory, right, guys? But if you're an individual, like Seymone said, that feel like intimacy is like a big thing on your priority list, then that means you guys moving in the same space need to be, you know, move forward a little faster. And, you know, you guys have that conversation, and that individual, whoever it is, should already know that about their partner, like they're really into, you know, so.
But then at the same time, you don't want to rush the relationship.
No, you don't want to rush it, but that them moving in the same space, I would think, needs to be higher on the priority list. Because house, you know what I mean? Like, you need to be in the same space eventually.
Well, yeah, or you might have a partner in that relationship who is happy to stay long distance.
Yeah, well, that means more visits, right?
Yeah, that means more travel and more visits.
Yeah.
As long as you know, are up for that, then that's cool.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
You know, long distance relationships, necessarily is nothing to totally write off.
No.
You know, I know some people say right off, no, I don't want a long distance relationship. Some people say that right off.
Right.
But if you're saying that, then you really have to search yourself and think of why is it that I don't want a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
Yeah, it's okay. But you got to realize, is it that you don't trust people? If you don't trust people long distance, as we said, you don't trust them right there.
Right.
So what is it? Is it that you don't like to be on the phone, or you don't like to be texting? Some people don't like to be on the phone.
That's true.
Some people don't like to do all that texting. So for them, a long distance relationship may not be ideal.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the person just kind of knowing themselves and knowing exactly, what they want and what they want in a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So long distance relationships are challenging. I've had some, and some of them are fun.
Yeah.
They're fun because like if you're traveling to see that person, then you have that anticipation, you have that little thing to look forward to going to see the person. Yeah, that's fun. So some of them, that part could be fun for you.
Yeah. To speak to that point, I will say, you guys, in any relationship, just make sure you take care of yourself. I know when you have a new relationship, it's exciting and you're looking forward to seeing that person, but just make sure you take care of yourself. And if you got to get enough sleep, make sure you eat, get enough rest, all those things.
And what's really important as a safety factor, if you're involved with a long distance relationship and you've never met them before, you've only met them on the phone, you've only met them through texting, the first time you meet them, you should meet them in a public place,
Okay.
And I would say meet them in a public place. And I would say, if you plan on spending a weekend, spend that weekend at a hotel. I don't think you should plan right away to go to their house because you don't really know them like that. Safety first, y'all.
Yeah.
Do you really know them like that? Or is just somebody you talking to long distance you think you know? You know, it goes back to everything we're telling y'all. You got to do your due diligence.
So we do get caught up. We do get caught up. So I get it.
You get caught up and you think you got something going on, and somebody just setting you up all around. You know?
And just make sure, you know, family, friends, or somebody, you know, that has your best interests, you know, at heart, knows, you know,
where you go.
where you are, where you're going, and
Definitely.
the individual, you know, you're going to meet. Just, you know, safety first, like Seymone said. You know, you just be safe, y'all.
Right. Don't jump too quickly. You know, you could have been talking to somebody for 6 months. 6 months. Because guess what? The scammers online from wherever country they are telling you that they love you.
Right.
You sometimes they grooming you for like a year or more, just to depending on how much they think they can get from you. So hey, be mindful with the long distance relationship. Do your due diligence like everything else.
Right.
That we're telling you, you know.
So they can be successful. You know, we've met couples where, you know, that's how it started off, you know, initially, and, you know, and it worked out well. So it's definitely doable.
It's definitely doable. There are outcomes that are wonderful, that are good. You can have a successful long distance relationship. You can have a long distance relationship that continues to be long distance.
Right.
And continues to be successful because both of y'all, that's how y'all like it. You know, you like that distance. But just be mindful, you know. And that's one of the things that we always tell you, get in community. You know, we got the group Women We Rock With, and that's the group, Women We Rock With. And in that group, we're talking about all these things, and we're encouraging you, we're uplifting you. We're here to hear about your situation and guide you through it. Because sometimes you think you got a good thing going.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you bring it to your sisters and talk about it, they'll be like, nah, sis. No. Run.
Because sometimes when we're in it, we don't see the red flags, the yellow flags. We make excuses, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always good to, you know, have, you know, an outside party, just, you know, looking in.
Always good to have people who, you know, have been through some similar things, to have your back and can see a situation clearly and can help you navigate that situation.
I agree.
Yeah, so definitely join the community, guys. We're gonna put the link. Join the community and stay healthy.
Stay healthy, you guys. That is so important. It should be like number one on your list, because if you are not healthy, you are not here.
Yeah, if you're not healthy, you can't enjoy anything we're talking about. Relationship, whatever we talk about, you can't enjoy it if you're not healthy.
Absolutely. So with that being said, you guys, you must take your liquid multivitamin, your NutriBurst. This is your liquid gold, people. 1 capful is 10 salads, which is amazing. I don't even eat 10 salads, and I eat pretty healthy. And as always, we eat different things, sometimes not so good for our bodies, even when we make good decisions. But with that being said, guys, keep your gut cleansed out. Make sure you are doing your ISOT. This is watermelon. Keep that gut cleansed. And many of you, I hate to say this, but you don't go to the bathroom like you should. And with that being said, that means your gut needs to be cleansed out every time you go to the restroom. But when you have a meal, guess what? You're supposed to go to the bathroom.
Each meal, y'all.
Each meal. And so make sure you are cleansing your gut, guys.
Yep. So it's been wonderful talking to you guys about long distance. Always be mindful in relationships. When you're meeting new people, do your due diligence. That's what we're here.
Yes.
To just help y'all navigate through these relationships. Drop your questions in the comment section. We're going to get back to you. But, you know, if you really want to rock with us and be part of the group Women We Rock With, then click on the link and join the group, y'all.
Absolutely.
We do more in there. We meet and talk to you, you know, like on Zoom, face to face, and help you navigate some things. You can ask your questions and we can work through these situations.
Right.
And we're also teaching you about not only relationship things, but how to manifest, how to meditate, and how to stay healthy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is Seymone
and Tasha.
We love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Peace.
Peace out.